morning, students. So we are on Thursday, September 17th, and today you do have a language assignment, but you may have noticed that we do not have a math assignment, and that's because you guys have been working really hard to practice on your division, and we need to set apart a little bit of time to make up any MAPS tests. So I just put a little reminder here. If you've completed all of your MAPS tests, then that is great news. You can focus on something creative or have a listen to some of the audio for The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe that I recorded. And if you have not completed your MAPS and you need the codes, I will be available all day to help you finish up your tests. And of course, we will continue making up tests as we go this week and also next week. So don't panic if you have a little bit to go or a lot to go, because we will get there. And I will be starting the day with, let's do math. So if you have not completed your math test, you will need the code for tomorrow. If you have finished your math, then just be patient and I will let everybody know when the language code is ready and when the reading code is ready. So we're going to start with math Thursday. So for our language assignment, we just have one page. It's not too bad, page 25. And we're almost done reviewing verbs. We just have 2 pages. And this page is reviewing correct and effective words. So we've done a little bit of that in the past assignments. And this exercise is just to make sure that you are saying words correctly, saying phrases correctly, using the right words, because oftentimes we think that we're using the right word in common phrases and we're actually saying it wrong. So our instructions say, underline the verb in each sentence twice. Watch for compound verbs and verb phrases. Correct any wrong verb forms by writing the answer above the verb. Do not add or remove helping verbs. So we have done this before. Remember, you are not removing or adding helping verbs. You're just correcting the word that is wrong. And let's do number 1 together. So it says, I ate my breakfast early. I think we all know we do not use the word ate. We say ate. So all you would have to do is just underline et and then underline it twice, actually. So you're going to correct it by just adding the correct word under it. So you would just, let's do it together. We are going to underline the wrong word and then put in the right word. Let's do number 2, just in case. It says, Heather has sang 2 songs. And we do not say Heather has sang. We say Heather has sung. But remember, we do not remove the helping verb. So even though Heather sung 2 songs also makes sense, we don't want to remove it. So we're just going to underline, I forgot it's twice. So underline twice and write sung. So you will do that from numbers 1 through 10. For think B, it says to identify the underlined verb by writing action, helping, or being. We have a bunch of pages throughout our book before this page that actually lists the helping or state of being verbs, but you can probably identify. So we're just looking at the underlined word mainly. For number 1, it says Pedro is studying for his examination. So we're just going to write whether the word is an action, helping, or being. So as an example, the word is a state of being because it's something that you can be. Like you are doing something, that's a state of being. And Pedro is. So we would write being here. For thing C, it says to underline the correct verb in the parentheses. And these exercises are usually easy because you're going to read the full sentence and decide which of the words in the parentheses would make better sense. So for number 1, for example, it says Jeff brought his new baseball bat to school, or Jeff brung his new baseball bat to school. Now, although sometimes we may use the word brung, it's actually not appropriate to use. So we should write the word brought. So you would just underline the correct word. We would say brought, not brung. And you are going to underline the appropriate word for numbers 1 through 6. And that's it for page 25 for language. And just a quick reminder before we go on to our spelling assignment. Yesterday, Wednesday, on Zoom, I read chapter 2 of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe with the students that were available at 11. But if you were not able to join the Zoom or you just want to listen to it again, I recorded and uploaded the audio onto YouTube. So for you to be able to complete your chapter 2 activities, which look like this, you will need to read chapter 2. So you are going to visit YouTube, go to chapter 2. Of course, if you haven't yet listened to chapter 1, then that would be more important. And they're both uploaded onto YouTube, so you can complete your assignments. Okay, so for our spelling assignment for Thursday, we are on page 16. And this is an exercise that we haven't yet done before with other lists, but you will find that it is pretty easy. So it says to read the poem about how God created valleys, fill in the shape boxes with list words to complete the stanzas. So definitely if you're having a hard time reading cursive, then this exercise will be challenging. So I recommend that you flip your paper over so that you can see the words in print, especially for this exercise, because you actually have to identify the shapes of the letters. And that's what makes this exercise kind of easy. So what you will do is figure out, after you read, the size of the letter. So every tall letter that goes up will have a long rectangle going this way. Of course, eyes would go here because there's a little circle for a dot. And then the rectangles going down are going to be long letters like Y or G or P. So you're just going to pay attention while also using the context clues. So you would read the sentence, let us blank what God has done. He has created everything under the sun. So we're going to look for a word that has a tall letter as the second letter and an I as the fourth letter. So let's see if we can find that together. Right here, we have A, D is the tall letter, and then I is the fourth letter. Let's see if the word admire fits in that sentence. Let us admire what God has done. He has created everything under the sun. Sure, that works. And then you will notice how they fit into the shape boxes easily. So if you put in a word, even if it makes sense, but they don't fit into the shape boxes, then you may have to go back and recheck. And that's what you're going to do for all of these, and that is your last assignment for spelling for this week. I encourage you to go on Spelling City and do a couple of activities, as this week was a little bit lighter to make room for maps, and you guys are doing a great job. Have a wonderful day.